pa. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramhansa, Parivrajacharya, Ashtottara Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramhansa, Parivrajacharya, Ashtottara Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada ki. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की. भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri 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 Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 18, verses 11 to 13. We'll be covering 3 verses today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Samam cha kurumam rajan Deva vrishtham yatapayaha Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarite tame vibho Samam cha kurumam rajan Deva vrishtham yathapayaha Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarite tame vibho. Samam cha kuru mam rajan Deva vrishtham yatapayah Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarteta me vibho. Samam cha kuru mam rajan Deva vrishtham yathapayah Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarteta me vibho. Samam cha kuru mam rajan Deva vrishtam yathapayah Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarteta me vibho. Samam cha kuru mam rajan Deva vrishtam yathapayah Apartavapi bhadram te Upavarteta me vibho. Samam, equally level. Cha, also. Kuru, make. Mam, me. Rajan, O king. Deva vrishtam, fallen as rain by the mercy of King Indra. Yatha, so that. Payaha, water. Aparito, when the rainy season has ceased. Api, even. Bhadram, auspiciousness. Te, unto you. Upavarteta, it can remain. Me, on me. Vibho, O Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. My dear King, may I inform you that you have to make the entire surface of the globe level. This will help me even when the rainy season has ceased. Rainfall comes by the mercy of King Indra. Rainfall will remain on the surface of the globe, always keeping the earth moistened, and thus it will be auspicious for all kinds of production. Purport: King Indra of the heavenly planets is in charge of throwing thunderbolts and giving rainfall. Generally, thunderbolts are thrown on the tops of hills in order to break them to pieces. As these pieces are spread asunder in due course of time, the surface of the globe gradually becomes fit for agriculture. Level land is especially conducive to the production of grain. Thus, the planet Earth requested Maharaj Prithu to level the surface of the earth, breaking up the high land and mountains. I'll quickly cover the 12th and 13th verse. Iti priyam hitam vakyam bhuva adaya bhupatihi vatsam kritva manum panav aduhat sakaloshadhih. Translation: After hearing the auspicious and pleasing words of the planet Earth, the king accepted them. He then transformed Swayambhuva Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. Text 13. Tatha pare cha sarvatra saram adadate buddhah tato anye cha yatha kamam duduhu prithu bhavetam. Translation: Others who were as intelligent as King Prithu also took the essence out of the earthly planet. Indeed, everyone took this opportunity to follow in the footsteps of King Prithu and get whatever he desired from the planet Earth. Purport: The planet Earth is also called a Vasundhara. The word Vasu means wealth and Dhara means one who holds. All creatures within the earth fulfill the necessities required for human beings, and all living entities can be taken out of the earth by the proper means. As suggested by the planet Earth and accepted and initiated by King Prithu, whatever is taken from the earth, either from the mines, from the surface of the globe, or from the atmosphere, should always be considered the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and should be used for yajna, Lord Vishnu. As soon as the process of yajna is stopped, the earth will withhold all productions, vegetables, trees, plants, fruits, flowers, other agricultural products, and minerals. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the process of yajna was instituted from the beginning of creation. By the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth, and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. As already mentioned, in this age of Kali, the simple performance of Sankirtan Yajna, the holding of festivals as initiated by the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, should be introduced in every town and village. Intelligent men should encourage the performance of Sankirtan Yajna by their personal behavior. This means that they should follow the process of austerity by restricting themselves from illicit sex life, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. If the intelligent men or the brahmanas of society would follow the rules and regulations, certainly the entire face of this present world, which is in such chaotic condition, would change and people would be happy and prosperous. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from chapter 18 and today we are going to be discussing verses 11 to 13. So planet Earth, Prithvi Maharani, she makes a request to Prithu Maharaj. She says that you have to make the entire surface of the earth level. Now, leveling the globe has two important outcomes. First, she mentions that even when the rainy season has ceased, even when there is no rain, the surface of the earth will still be moistened. Because water has equally split everywhere. There are no pits or holes in the surface on account of leveling it. And the second reason is that when the surface of the earth is leveled, it can become very conducive for the production of grains. Now, there is a very deep meaning to this analogy. See, she mentions that King Indra, he is responsible for rain, and he is also responsible for discharging thunderbolts on the top of mountain hills and highlands so that they break into pieces, they break into huge boulders or big pieces of stones, and they fall on the surface of the earth, and in the due course of time, when they are spread in different places, they level the surface, which becomes conducive for agriculture. So, how we have to understand this is that we, the people of Kali Yuga, our consciousness, it resembles that uneven surface. Our consciousness is contaminated with all kinds of pits and holes of envy, greed, fear, contempt, arrogance, and various other malign aspects. And all the pure devotees, all the eternal associates of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, they are serving them eternally in Goloka Vrindavan. And just as King Indra, he discharges the thunderbolts and makes the mountain tops break up and go different places to level the surface of the earth. Similarly, Krishna, as the supreme king, he gives instructions to his pure devotees that you descend in the material world and you level the consciousness of people so that they can come to bhakti. So this is how we can understand the meaning of this analogy. And the prime example that comes to my mind is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was serving Krishna eternally in the spiritual world, but on the orders of the Supreme God, he descended in this material world and he traveled across various places, leveling people's consciousness, cleansing people's consciousness, and giving them pure love of Godhead. Because as it is mentioned in the verse, that when the surface is leveled, it becomes conducive for production of grains. Similarly, when our consciousness is leveled, it becomes conducive for the production of the seed of the creeper of devotional service, Bhakti Lata Bij. So Krishna, Srimati Radharani, the Sakhis, the Gopis, all the eternal associates, the previous acharyas, they are like immense clouds of bhakti rasa, prem rasa. And they are constantly showering their mercy on us. They have been showering their mercy on us since eternity. But we have to understand that just as rocky surfaces which are uneven, they cannot accumulate rain. Similarly, because we do aparadh, we do so many offenses, we cannot retain that prem ras, we cannot retain that bhakti ras within us. But just because we have the acharyas, the sannyasis, all the senior devotees, they are by our side, leveling our consciousness and cleansing us continuously, in the due course of time, we will become fit to retain all of that rasa, just as the earth stays moistened even when there is no rainy season. So, in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there is a very beautiful verse. Prithvi te ache yata nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoibe mora naam. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that in every town and village of the world, the holy name should be spread. And for that, we see how all the sannyasis, all the Guru Maharaj, accepting Srila Prabhupada as their supreme king, now they have spread across the entire globe in different parts, preaching the holy name and leveling people's consciousness like huge boulders and giving them the Bhakti Lata. So this is the very deep meaning to this analogy which has been given in verse 11. In the next two verses, various things are discussed. First, Prithu Maharaj he transforms Swayambhuva Manu into a calf so that when Mother Earth, she looks at the calf, she can affectionately give more herbs and grains. And in the 13th verse, it is explained how intelligent men, how people who are as intelligent as Prithu Maharaj, they understood and they took the essence out of the earth. And they understood how to utilize the resources which they are extracting from the earth. Now, nowadays, the biggest and foremost reason why we witness so much of scarcity of resources in various places is because there is a lack of understanding in how we should use the productions of the earth. In the 13th verse, it is discussed in the purport that planet Earth, Mother Prithvi, she suggests Prithu Maharaj that whatever resources you're extracting from me, they should be used in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a sacrifice, as yajna. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. That a person who is in full consciousness of me, he knows that I am the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices and that I am the well-wisher of all living entities. But this one simple truth, this one simple fundamental concept, people fail to understand. People like the father of Prithu Maharaj, King Vena. He stopped all the sacrifices because he thought that they were useless. But by stopping all the sacrifices, he stopped the mercy of Krishna flowing into his kingdom. And as a result, to punish his son, because Mother Earth is the mother of everyone. So in order to punish his son Vena, Mother Earth retracted all the resources. There's a very beautiful pastime, which is a big learning for us from Mahabharata, where Maharaj Yudhishthir, when they have finally established their reign in Indraprastha, they decide to perform the Rajasuya Yajna. And the Rajasuya Yajna is performed with the intention of establishing your reign, your sovereignty across the entire region. So Maharaj Yudhishthir, he gave instructions to his four brothers, Nakul, Arjun, Bhim and Sahadev, that you go in different directions and you conquer Bharatvarsha. And you collect tributes from all the kingdoms. So they all went in different directions and they collected tributes, which consisted of commodities like gold, silver, grains, ghee, livestock like cow and horses. But even though Maharaj Yudhishthir was performing the Rajasuya Yajna, all of that material wealth, all of those resources were used as a sacrifice for the service of the Supreme Lord. And not just that, during the assembly, when they decided that who is to be worshipped first, who is to be given the Agravani, who should be the first recipient of our sacrifices, then they all cumulatively chose Krishna. Bhishma Dev also said that even though I am elder, but here is Vasudev, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he should be the first recipient of all the sacrifices. And thus all the sacrifices finally reached Krishna. There is a very beautiful verse in Padma Puran, Akasham patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarva deva namaskaram keshavam prati gacchati. That just as Akasham patitam toyam, from the sky, whatever drop falls, patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram, goes into the ocean. Ultimately, similarly, Sarva Deva Namaskaram, all the sacrifices, all the obeisances you are paying to any devata, any personality, Keshavam Prati Gacchati, it finally reaches Krishna, because Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices. We have another example of Bali Maharaj. When a dwarfed personality came and he said that I just need piece of land which is equivalent to 3 steps. And Bali Maharaj he started mocking that I am Trilokadhipati, I am going to be ruling the 3 worlds and you just need 3 steps, you can ask for more. But when Krishna from the dwarfed personality, he became enlarged. And within the 2 steps, he measured the entire creation. Then Bali Maharaj, he realized that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he became steadfast in his devotion and duty. And at the end, he very humbly presented his head. So Krishna, he became so pleased with Bali Maharaj that he offered him the eternal reign of the Sutala planet. And not just that, he offered to become his doorkeeper as well. So from the examples of Yudhishthir Maharaj and Maharaj Bali, we can understand how they had all the resources, they had all the facilities, all the amenities, but they did not use it for their sense gratification. They understood that all of this is the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus it should be used in his service. You know, in traditional Indian households, it is a very common practice that when the mother, she prepares any meal of the day, so what she would do is, she would prepare a separate plate for Krishna, and after offering that bhoga, she will call one of her children and ask them to give the plate to the father. This is a very common, at least this is how it used to happen in my house. Now, it's not like the mother has prepared food just for the father, but she asks the children that you go and serve him first. It's not that the father is a tyrannical figure or some narcissistic, arrogant, man who wants to starve his children and wants to eat first. It's just that the mother, she realizes how much efforts he makes to earn the money, how much hard work he does so that he can provide his family with all these riches and comforts. So as a matter of regard and respect, what she does is she asks the children that you go and serve him the food first. And the father also reciprocates accordingly. He also becomes very enchanted and delighted to see that his family, they are acknowledging their efforts, his efforts and all the ordeals he's going through. But on the other hand, when the children, they become ill-mannered, they become indifferent, and they become very insolent towards their father, they stop respecting him, they in turn argue with him, and they start unrestrictedly exploiting all the resources and facilities that he's providing to them. Then the mother who's in charge of all these resources, she decides that I will now punish you by retracting all these resources from you. I remember when I was quite young, I was probably 9 or 10 years of age. I never liked chapati, which we call roti in Hindi. I never liked the taste of it. And my mother, what she would do is, she would intentionally keep chapati in my lunchbox when she would prepare my lunchbox, because she knew that it's good for me. And any given day that I would go to school and I would discover that there is a chapati in my lunchbox, I'd be so frustrated, so disappointed. And I'm admitting this publicly. I would shamelessly and very carelessly pick up the chapati and throw it in the dustbin, not even realizing how much money has gone into getting the flour, and how much efforts my mom makes waking up early in the morning and preparing the lunch for me. So, and what I would do is I would just throw the chapati in the dustbin, keep the foil paper, so that she doesn't get to know that something else has happened. Now, this kept on going on for a while. When I had a spat with one of my friends, and the next day he decided to reciprocate accordingly. So my mother, she came to pick me up, and he revealed the divine secret. So he told her that, you know what he has been doing with your food? And yeah, he told her that I had been wasting food like this. And my mother, she was so infuriated. And she was angrier about the fact that I was not caring enough for my father's efforts and his money, that I was just wasting food like this. So as a matter of punishment, she decided to not give me lunch for one day. My mother was a little compassionate. Under normal circumstances, somebody would have starved them for like a week or so. But yeah, she decided that for one day, I'm not going to give you any food. Okay, you just stay hungry. And once you stay hungry, then you will understand the value of money and understand the value of hard work that your father is putting in. So similarly, our Mother Earth, she's our mother because she's the consort of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu is our father. Now, when we fail to understand that all of the resources, all of the property actually belongs to the father, and he has very compassionately, very out of kindness, he has provided all these things to us. And if we fail to understand this, we don't want to share this with him, and we in turn ignore his presence and disrespect him, then what Mother Earth does, she retracts all the resources. She takes them back and decides that, okay, I'm going to now punish you, which is what happened with the king Vena. So the outcome is what we see in the third world countries. You know, people, they are suffering from acute famine, acute food shortages. People are so poverty stricken, they cannot even buy food, like they cannot even buy food for their breakfast. What to talk about having 3 meals in a day. The unequal distribution of resources. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. All of this now, you know, economists and organizations across the world, they can come up with multiple theories. They can come up with all kinds of arguments why this is happening. You know, the GDP is going low, or whatever kind of stuff that they want to believe in. But the root cause, the very fundamental cause why this happens is because people, they don't use the resources as sacrifice. They want to unrestrictedly enjoy all the resources and facilities. Now, on account of this, there is a very beautiful pastime of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani, like nearly when they were 80 years of age, they decided to have a child. And they were trying to have a son for a very long time, but they were unsuccessful. So somebody suggested to Nanda Maharaj that you perform the Putra Kamishthi Yagya, which is a yagya that you perform to beget a son. So Nanda Maharaj said that, okay, we'll perform the Putra Kamishthi Yagya. But before calling the Brahmanas, this is a very funny incident, before calling the Brahmanas, he called a head cook. Because he knew that all these Brahmanas, they're Vaishnavas. They're going to conduct the Putra Kamishthi Yagya and they're going to be here. So we have to serve them properly. So he ordered the cook that you have to cook so many varieties of food, you know, and you have to cook 3 meals a day minimum. So all the Brahmanas, they came, and they came around Brahma Muhurat time, and they were all ready to perform the Yagya. They were all prepared. Just before they were about to perform the Yagya, the head cook comes in and intervenes, and he says, please wait. I have been preparing almost 56 varieties of food. You have the prasadam first, and then you do the Yagya. Right? Otherwise, all of it will go to waste. Who will eat it? So the Brahmanas thought that, okay, let's honor the prasadam first, right? So they all started having the prasadam, and because he had prepared so many varieties, he had prepared so much, they overate. They overate in huge amounts. Now by the time they were done, it was already 7:30 a.m. So they all went to the head Brahmana and they said that, I think we should postpone the Putra Kamishthi Yagya for Rajbhog. Because now all we can think of is bed. We are so dizzy, we have overeaten so much that we just want to go and have like a good nap. So the head Brahmana said that, okay, that's fine. We can take a 2-hour nap, but be prepared at Rajbhog. Okay. Now they all went and they had a 2-hour nap. But from the time they went till the time they came back, the head cook went again in the kitchen and he started preparing the prasadam for Rajbhog. So now they were all fresh and energized to do the yagya again. And they were just going to the yagya sthali when the Brahmana, when the head cook, he stopped them and he said, wait, where are you guys going? I have been preparing prasadam for Rajbhog since the last 5 hours. I have prepared again another 56 varieties of food. You cannot dishonor the prasadam like this. Now the Brahmanas were puzzled that, are we just going to be having prasadam? Who's going to perform the yagya? So they said, okay, let's honor the prasadam. We'll just have a little bit of it. But speaking from my personal experience, you can never have a little bit of prasadam. As usual, they overate again. And this time the head Brahmana, he came to the Brahmanas and he said that, I think we should postpone the Putra Kamishti Yagya for Brahma Muhurat tomorrow, because it is not advisable to do Yagya at night. So we'll postpone it for tomorrow. Okay. And as usual, this kept on going for a few days. When the Brahmanas, they finally fell at the feet of Nanda Maharaj that please let us do the Yagya. Because Nanda Maharaj had given personal instructions that you have to satiate the Brahmanas to the brink. They should feel like they have overeaten every single time they eat. So after the performance of the Yagya, after the Yagya was finally conducted, a Brahmana came to Nanda Maharaj and he asked that, Maharaj, you're Vrajendra, you're the king of Vraja. You have availability of everything. You have everything at your disposal. You've got 900,000 cows. You have entire piece of land under your control. You have all the Vrajavasis, all the Vaishnavas. They are ready to serve you at any time and every time. Why is it that you want a son? And that too at the age of 80. Why is it that you want to have a son? And we have to understand that Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani, their desire to beget a son is not to be compared with the desire of materialists who want to have a son. Because their sole objective is, we want to have a son because we want to progress our dynasty, we want to progress our family. The simple objective is the progression of their family. It has got nothing to do with Sanatan Dharma. Because they have already prepared plans for their child. Okay, he will be born over here, then he will go to this school, then he will go to this university, then after that he will get married to this girl. And all of that is concerned with them and them alone. It has got nothing to do with greater welfare, what to talk about spiritual welfare. But Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani, Nanda Maharaj replied beautifully by saying that, yes, you're absolutely correct. I have all the things in the world. I have all the money and wealth in the world, and I have all the resources. Now I want a son who can take up the service of using these resources in the service of God. Now I want a son. You mentioned that I have 900,000 cows. Who is going to milk them? Who is going to serve them? You mentioned that so many Vrajavasis are there, and so many Vaishnavas and Sadhus, they are visiting Vrindavan and Vrajabhumi at regular intervals of time. Who is going to serve them? Who is going to take care of them? Who is going to arrange for feasts? Now I want a son who can take up this service. So Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani's desire is transcendental. They don't want a son who can serve them. They don't want a son who can take care of their family business. They want a son who can serve people, serve the Brajavasis, serve the Vaishnavas, and ultimately serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this, because of this feeling, Krishna himself, he descended in the form of their son. Now, in the purport, we see that there is a mention of peace and prosperity. That if somebody understands the essence and they take out that essence from the earth, then everything will become peaceful and prosperity will prevail. Everybody will become happy. And nowadays we see that there are governments, there are various organizations who claim that they are peacemakers. They want to see every part of the world prosperous. But they don't have the slightest understanding of how to execute that. They don't have the formula. The formula is in this particular verse, and Srila Prabhupada has given us the formula. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the verse, by the regular performance of yajna, the equal distribution of wealth and the restriction of sense gratification, the entire world will be made peaceful and prosperous. This is the 3-step formula. So there are 3 important elements that Srila Prabhupada mentions, which all of them, if they are in conjunction, then peace and prosperity will prevail for sure. The first element is regular performance of yajna. But we are in the age of Kali, we are in the Iron Age. Neither the Brahmanas are qualified, nor the ingredients and the stuff is fit and pure to be used as yajnas. No fire sacrifices can be performed. So what is this yajna that Srila Prabhupada is referring to? He's referring to the Harinam Sankirtan yajna. And it is the best kind of yajna. Because for a fire sacrifice, for the kind of sacrifices they used to do in Satyug, Treta and Dwapar, you needed the best of the brahmanas with utmost purity. You needed the best of the ingredients, the purest of the ghees and purest of the samagri to be used in the yajna. But we don't have all of that. And you needed to observe so many rules. The brahmanas would fast for days. But for the Harinam Sankirtan yajna, there are no rules, there are no regulations. There is no kind of qualification, no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, religion, or nationality. The only way we can successfully execute the Harinam Sankirtan yajna is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's it. That's the first point taken care of, regular performance of yajna. And we all are regularly doing yajna. Everybody is chanting 16 rounds on a daily basis. That's our yajna. The second element Srila Prabhupada mentions is equal distribution of wealth. Now we have to understand that these three elements are in chronology. They are sequential. If I'm doing yajna, which is the Harinam Sankirtan yajna, I have taken the shelter of Srimati Radharani and Shri Krishna. When I have taken their shelter, I have understood that nothing belongs to me. Everything is their property. When I have this understanding fixed in my mind, I will not accumulate wealth for myself. I would rather distribute it equally amongst everyone with the intention that this has to be used in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by taking care of the first element, we are automatically taking care of the second element. Now the third element which Srila Prabhupada mentions is that restricted sense enjoyment, the restriction of sense gratification. This is also sequential. Because I have taken shelter of the holy name. I have understood that nothing belongs to me. When I have understood nothing belongs to me, I stop accumulating. When I stop accumulating, then my tendency to gratify my senses, then my tendency to enjoy it also gradually declines. So this is the best kind of formula that there exists for peace and prosperity. And Srila Prabhupada has very nicely mentioned it in the purport. So I believe that as long as we can have senior devotees, senior Vaishnavas, our Guru Maharaj, we can have, as long as we are steadfast in our devotion and duty towards them, and they are constantly leveling our consciousness like the huge boulders which are broken down and they level the earth, then we can definitely contain that prem rasa, that bhakti rasa within us. And once we start retaining that prem rasa, then we will gradually start understanding how we can properly use the resources which are given to us by Mother Earth in the service of the Supreme God. With this, I'd like to conclude my session. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Any questions, feedback? Yes, Prabhuji. So equal distribution of wealth, it basically stems from the fact that everybody in society, they should have access to the basic necessities of life, which are sufficient enough for their livelihood. Because nowadays we see how in a lot of countries, in a lot of places, some people on account of their power, they are accumulating all the resources. They are keeping everything for themselves, even when they don't need it. And this is why there is a disbalance occurring in economy, there is a disbalance occurring in people's stature. The rich, they become richer and the poor are getting poorer. Because the rich, they know how to accumulate the resources. Whereas the poor, they don't have access to the resources. So equal distribution of wealth doesn't necessarily account for money,
But equal distribution of wealth accounts for the natural resources. And Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that once we equally distribute the wealth, then it becomes perfect. Because when everybody has access to all the basic necessities of life, then the feeling of accumulation, it will gradually subside. So this is, and again, this should be in conjunction with the performance of yajna if we want to witness spiritual growth. So this is what it means by equal distribution of wealth. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhu, I believe I will have to get back to you on that, because if I speculate right now, then I will answer wrongly, and I don't want to speculate. So please give me a while, and I will definitely get back to you on that, surely. Yes. Yeah. See, Prabhu, when initially Prithvi Maharani, she mentions that the herbs and grains, they have been deteriorated, it can be understood also as a figure of speech, because what she did was, when she saw the deterioration happening in Vena's kingdom, she decided to retract all the resources. And when Prithu Maharaj, he chastised her, she told him that the grains and the herbs and grains, they are already deteriorated, because they were unrestrictedly being used. They were not used for the right purpose. So the deterioration is not literal here, whereas it is figurative. We can understand in this way, because they were anyways going to waste. All of that was going to waste. So Prithvi Maharani, the deterioration she mentions is basically the deterioration of the usage. But when Prithu Maharaj, he chastises her, when he tells her that no, but now the true Ren has been established. So now you have to reveal the secret, where are the seeds of the herbs and grains. Then she tells him that, okay, if you want to milk me, if you want to take out the herbs and grains, then you have to get me a calf. And then Swayambhuva Manu, he becomes transformed into a calf, and she very affectionately reveals the seeds and herbs. I hope that answers your question, Prabhu. Yeah. I would have to get back to you on that, because again, I don't want to speculate. I'll surely get back to you. Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Premanande.